Yo, yo, what's going on? Live from the 856. This is channel 856. Back again, episode 12. Your boy Danny X.
Back here, Jared, week 16. We right at y'all.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all back again rocking with us for another episode. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so we can let you know when we uploading. We appreciate y'all. You know, love is love. Appreciate y'all coming back for another week of fantasy football. We are in semifinals week as well.
Yes,
So
sir.
down to the final four in everybody's league. Shout out King as always. Shout out CP as well.
Yes, sir.
You know, we back here doing it again. So yeah, we can show you our final four semifinal matchups right here. So we got King versus CP, and then we got Jared versus Scoop 3.
Three-piece.
So it's gonna get ugly, man. Final four is here. Like we said last week, you know, I was the only one on the pod that did not make the playoffs, but we holding it down 75% for the final four, so I like it. Yeah, we can start off with a little bit of, just Final Four trash talk that we got from everybody headed into this week. So we will kick it off with Jared's opponent, Scoop. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that up so you guys can hear him and hear what he got to say. So we'll start with the first one.
Yo, it's your boy Scoop, man. Ready to go on this playoff run. Had my little first round bye, you know. I started off real slow, 0-3. I ended up going, 7-2 the last 9 games. Them games I lost could have easily went the other way if I would have started the right quarterback. But, it's time to go on this playoff run, man. Try to give me a chip. I played Jared for the third time this season. First matchup, he got me by a few points. Second matchup, I had to bring out the fireworks, bring out that belt. That's the third matchup, round 3. Let the best man win.
All right, he sent a part 2. 1 second. Give y'all a part 2, Ski.
I actually also forgot to mention that I did break some records this season. Broke my own record of having the highest single game score, which I actually broke against Jared. So I know he wants to get back on that, you know. And then I broke CP's record of having the highest single season score. I blew that out the water, you know. So I'm already cemented into this league, you know. Now I just got to take the next step in the playoffs. You feel me? Job not done yet. And, there's guys like Alex out there, you know. They wish they could see this, you feel me, this type of ceiling. But while I'm in this league, he will never break the ceiling, ever. I promise you that.
Alex caught a stray on that one.
Definitely did.
Quick stray. So, yeah, no, I mean,
Scoop was talking that
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. This is gonna be my favorite matchup I've had in quite some time. I think this is like, I had played Evan way back when, and I knew too. I was like, yo, this is gonna be like the deciding matchup
Yeah.
for me my season. So I like it. Scoop, he's definitely the biggest opponent I had this year. One of the biggest, I should say. I shouldn't say but he's definitely my favorite opponent right now. So Scoop, 3-piece, third time's the charm. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, on to CP, who will be facing King, Jersey Kings. So, we got a voice note for CP. Let me play that for y'all.
Yo, we back. It's CP. Got through round 1. Beat Kemis, went 3-0 versus him this year. Beat him in back-to-back weeks. Last week of the regular season and the first week of the playoffs, so that was pretty crazy. So got through that. Now semis week, we got Quinn this week. Quinn's team has been damn near at the top of the league all year. He's got a great team. Got 2 amazing running backs with A-Chan and Bijan. So, we're going to see. It's going to be a dogfight, trying to get it to the championship. So, let's get it.
Yeah, and there's CP. So that leaves two people. We got my co-host and producers. So which one of y'all want to go first? Who want to go
I'll
first?
take it off your hands.
Okay.
I'll
All
let Quinn get nice and comfy.
Okay.
Scoop, I'll just make it nice and simple. You know where to find me. Let's do it. Let's get right to it. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. We got some big names in our lineups, but that's definitely going to be a critical factor. See what they're doing this week. But no, I like it. I like it a lot. His team, Scoop, you got a great team. You definitely, like you said, start off slow, but you came on very strong, rebounded. You had a hell of a season. It ends this week. I'll let you know. I'm telling you now, I'm not going home. I'm trying to get this chip, and that's just what it is. If I got to go through you, so be it. But I'll give you this. If I got to be the best, I got to go through the best. So that's my biggest compliment. All right, so like I was saying, Scoop, to be the best, you got to go through the best. You got to beat the best. So that's one of my biggest compliments. You got one of the better teams this year. Came out strong. Definitely, you put up some fireworks. So not even you did the fireworks last time we played. So yeah, it's definitely get back time. So strap up. It's war. Let's get to it. May the best man win.
All right. Well, there you have it. One more person, our number one overall seed.
Big dog Q.
So, as a producer, he has the luxury to edit things. So he is going to have his going right now.
What's going on, y'all? It's your Commissioner Quinn speaking, also known as Jersey Kings, here as your number one seed. You know what I mean? Had a rough couple years, been a little inconsistent, but we here now. You know what I mean? Trying to bring home that chip again, and unfortunately, it's against my boy CP, but it is what it is. Know what I mean? It's the name of the game, so I like my matchup. So we gonna see, and hopefully they all perform. I mean.
And we're back. So, yeah, that's our 4 playoff teams, Final Four, no NCAA. So, we are cruising and rolling. I'm excited. We have the opportunity to have 3 out of the 4 people can be first-time champions. So, good odds there. King can be a 2-timer, the second 2-timer in this league. So, a lot of history on the line. A lot of people can join the record books with your boy and King, who's already a champion. And, it's going to be interesting to see. I did get the first carton of eggs for Steen, so they are currently in the garage. First carton of eggs have been purchased. So, we'll make sure to set that up. We're going to have that on the pod. That's getting recorded. I don't know if he knows that, but he knows that now. So that'll be on the way. Stay tuned. So moving on from that, let's see what we got going now. We will talk about the matches a little bit more in depth. So Jarrett, give me your, obviously the matchups are no surprise. There's no, no frills at this point. You're starting who you're starting. Who are you leaning on? Any matchups in your game that you're looking at for yourself? Anybody you're keeping an eye out for him? Obviously, for me, from just first sight, you want to make sure Higgins gets those touchdowns and not Chase.
Oh my God!
If it's Chase, it's not touchdowns. Obviously, you'll get the Burrow points, but you do not want Chase to be a second quarterback for him, along with Jaden Daniels putting up quarterback level points.
He might have a 3. He could have potentially 3 quarterback. Josh Jacobs, that's the player. I'll be real.
Okay.
I was watching. What was that? They played the Seahawks.
Sunday night.
Yo, the first drive was just Josh Jacobs 9 plays in
8.
a row. I thought it was 9.
No, I'm saying he's number 8.
Oh,
8.
I'm just
all
like,
8. Yeah.
Okay, and they have Mike McDonald, like a defensive coordinator, boy from the Ravens, as the head coach. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, they're gonna blitz and stuff. Yo, they just kept running the ball, and I'm just like, okay. So Josh Jacobs is officially, I feel like he's, to me, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but he's probably like top 5 in the NFL this year. For me, running back wise, that boy has just he's been running crazy. So I definitely, versus Saints, a team that's got a backup quarterback, it could be him for 4 quarters. So that's the part where, if I had to name one player, I'm a little worried about this year or this week, but it is what it is. I got to be able to match that. I know my RB is a little thin, so that's kind of where I'm like, all right, as long as he don't go for like 2 touchdowns or something crazy where it's like he's doing what like James Cook and them was doing last week. Like
Right.
that's what I'm trying to avoid. But he might get his Josh Jacobs as long as he maybe 100-yard touchdown. That's about hopefully his ceiling. He
Yeah.
can keep it calm on the Saints. But that's the nightmare matchup because he got that Monday night. That's the final punch, I'll say. So.
Yeah, and I think also too, just having Brock Bowers, he's capable of 18 to 22 points. So I think that Hawkinson at least got to give you a 10 spot just to make sure that matchup stays pretty close and it's not lopsided. But I think you do match up well. I think your wide receivers can put up the same points as his. It really just comes down to Stevenson, Spears holding their own against Mixon and Jacobs. But I do like that matchup. I think it's going to be fun. Obviously, you guys. Had two really, really good games, like two of the
One
top.
really good game. We had one good game apiece, I'll say.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Now Scoop had 2 good games. I had 1 good game in our matchup. I'll give the first game was my good game. The second game I didn't compete.
Yeah, and I think for King and CP, I think that one just comes down to what version of we were talking before we started recording, like what version of Kyler Murray are we gonna get? Are we gonna get like 12 points, or are you gonna get the 40 points? Saquon's gonna Saquon, so I think it just comes down to what version of Kyler you get. Devontae Adams had an explosive week. Jonnu Smith's very consistent, but on the same token, on the other side, Rico Dowdle's consistent. Jerry Judy's been consistent. Devon Achane and Bijan, like you were saying, with his running backs are very high-powered offenses. Baker Mayfield's been a steady quarterback all season, so. Excuse me. It's going to be pretty interesting. All the high-scoring teams are left, so I say with this matchup, it comes down to I would say like the Judy and Keenan Allen on each side, and then the flexes. What will Rico Dowdle do? What will MHJ do in that matchup? But I will definitely be locked in, and we will make sure to stay real close to that matchup. And see how it plays out. But on to last week's NFL matchups. We are coming out of Week 15, starting with a pretty boring Thursday night game, Rams-Niners. Rams winning 12-6, ending with the double Monday night football doubleheader, with the Raiders obviously losing again, keeping our eyes hopes for Shedeur Sanders, and the Vikings rolling the Bears 30-12. Some big key matchups. You got the Packers winning in Sunday night big. Buccaneers on the road again in L.A. winning big, putting up 40. Bills winning the big-time matchup of the week versus the Lions. Josh Allen going crazy again. Cardinals winning 30-17 over New England. You got the Chiefs finding a way to win again. Bengals winning big. Commanders squeaking out one down in NOLA. Cowboys winning on the road against Carolina, which messed up a lot of my bets. I thought Carolina had that one. Ravens winning big over the Giants as we expected. So those are most of the matchups for the week. I would say the one I watched the most was probably Bills-Lions. I watched a lot of that game. I watched a lot of the Texans-Dolphins game. That was actually a pretty decent game. How about you? What was your main highlight from Week 15?
I was doing a lot of driving, to be honest. I visited some
Jets
family.
Jets won. Devontae went crazy.
I did watch that. It was weird because I got home. It was like second half for most of the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah.
But definitely watched the Bengals versus Titans. A little bit of that Jets game, like you said. 4 o'clock was at Steelers Eagles. Watched a bit of that. Mm-hmm. So it was another game or so. Oh, definitely the Bucks game because Mike Evans. I was hollering, boy. He came through.
Yeah.
He came through.
For sure.
So yeah, it was some of those games in there. What was the Sunday night?
The Sunday night was Packers Seahawks.
Packers Seahawks. Okay, yeah, that was Sunday night. So that was the one I was kind of locked into because I had played Kraft and I was like, all right, let me see what he's going, because that was the end of my matchup. But those games were pretty decent.
Yeah.
The Bills though was the best game of the week though. Bills Lions.
Just to pivot real quick after the Week 15 recap. So it's funny because we keep this narrative. Everybody was jumping on Kemis this week. Another unfortunate first-round exit. So shout out to Kemis making another playoff run, though, to have a lot of playoff appearances. And even to say first-round exit or not, you get into the playoffs. A lot of people can't say that. So shout out to you for being able to make it to the postseason again. And
Facts.
then Jared winning by 2 against Chris. Obviously, could have won by more. Either way, either tight end would have got the job done. So pulling out a good dub from him. Obviously, Josh Allen showed up. Jameer Gibbs showed up.
Josh Allen he's pretty much the only player that I really fear right now.
Yeah.
Him and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, no, 100%. Him and Jameer showed up, but getting that goose from Cooper Kupp, and then not really anybody else outside of those 2 scoring touchdowns, just made it for a tough day. Still put up 115, so applaud to you as well, Chris, completing the gauntlet, getting into the playoff, making another appearance. Been better the last couple years versus your, the majority of your tenure in the league. So wanted to shout them out. As either way, they made the playoffs. So we gotta give it up to everybody. So big up to them for making the postseason.
Facts.
But yeah. So from there, we are going to move into our rankings. So as usual, we'll do the rankings. We'll keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter for you guys. Obviously, it's only Final Four. The teams that got you here will probably be the ones that you're playing. So with that being said, Jared, I'll kick it off to you. If you would like to start with some of the quarterbacks, if there's any matchups, that, you guys have like 2 or 3 of a position, and you guys trying to figure out who to choose or who to go after. We'll do that. So, excuse me. I think I said rankings. We'll actually start with our waivers. So I apologize. So we will go for waivers first. So, yeah, Jared, I'll kick it off to you.
This is really going to be repetitive, but the quarterbacks, depending on your matchups, there's a couple quarterbacks this week that I might not like specifically, so I don't want to jump ahead, but, for big names that might have a tougher matchup, you might look at Herbert Thursday night going against Denver without Surtain, I imagine. Rodgers is someone who might be out there on waivers. Russell Wilson versus the Baltimore Ravens. Suspect pass defense, to say the least. Stafford gets the Jets this weekend. So some of these guys very familiar, but could be on the waivers if you needed the quarterback. I think running backs definitely, I'll pass them to you, but it's definitely got some more juice over there this week.
Nah, for sure.
I don't know if you want to share this.
Nah, you good. I got it on my phone. Yeah, no, we good, brother. So running backs, I would just say if you've got guys like obviously Jerome Ford. If you're looking at anything, you might have an injury. You might be in a tough spot. Jerome Ford might be a good guy. Obviously with Chubb being out for the year now, 84 yards and a touchdown. So he was able to provide some good value and be productive in his absence. So if you do need some options, Jerome Ford's a good play. Another one with an injury, Alvin Kamara. So look at Kendre Miller down in NOLA. Pollard is also banged up, so you might want to look at Tajay Spears. And then obviously there's a running back carousel in Las Vegas. So Madison, Abdullah, White, McCormick. White and McCormick are done for the year, so make sure you might want to look Madison and Abdullah's way. As a Raider fan, they kind of ride the hot hand. Whoever's, they alternate a little bit. They both have pass catching abilities, so they both kind of get a good fair share. So I'll kick it back to you for the wideouts.
Wideouts, one of the most probably popular waivers for this week is a guy on your team. I like Romeo Doubs a lot. For some reason, this guy just comes in. He has like those 2 touchdown games randomly, but
Yep.
I like what he sees. It looks like he has a lot of trust with Jordan Love, so he looks like he's kind of like that. I don't know what's happening to Jaden Reed, but he looks like he's kind of the trusted target, especially in the red zone.
Yeah.
I like Thielen a lot. I know he didn't have a good game this past week, but I think he's the wide receiver 1 over there in Carolina. Definitely gets the strongest target share. I feel like he has the most upside. My boy NWI, definitely a boomer bust option. If you're in a hole, if you're someone chasing upside, you might be projected to lose like 15 points. Like somebody like me, you might want to shoot for some upside. He's a player who's definitely known to be a boomer bust, but he has a touchdown in 7 of the last 10. Keenan Allen, if you watch the Bears games, I don't know why you would, but I have. And I've seen a lot of Keenan Allen, definitely volume recently since like week 6. He's definitely had a strong target share, but
Almost def.
inefficient targets from one of the worst passers in the league. And then Quentin Johnson, if you can stomach it, I probably can't anymore because I played him, he gets 0, and then he goes out and he scores anytime I don't have him. But he's a player, again, boomer bust. Same thing for me. I like a player like Rashard Bateman. Just saw him have almost 3 touchdowns versus the Giants. He, catching passes from Lamar Jackson. All it takes is 1. Could be that versus the Steelers this week, but Not too strong. And then Jalen McMillan, back-to-back weeks with a touchdown. He has 3 touchdowns last 2 games. Strong matchup versus Dallas. Baker's been playing a good quarterback, so he's definitely someone under the radar, too. Probably not too popular or familiar with a lot of people.
Q, my cord fell out. That's not going to do anything if I just put it back in, right? Okay. All right, cool. All right. Moving on to tight ends. So Juwan Johnson, I think could be a good play if Spencer Rattler starts. He's going to use security blanket playing out there. It'll just make sense, obviously without Olave, without Shaheed. They're just really thin, and you got to throw to somebody trustworthy. A big target like Juwan Johnson will be able to move the chains and get some good reps. So if you're struggling at tight end, the rest of the pack have been okay outside of the elite tight ends. So if you're streaming, I would definitely look his way. Freiermuth for Pittsburgh has had 3 straight games with a touchdown, so that's a favorable matchup against Baltimore as well. So I think that maybe someone to look their way, especially without George Pickens. He seems to be another pass catcher that seems to be loyal and sturdy as well with Austin. You don't know what to get about from him, from Mike Williams and those guys. So looking to Smart as well if Disley misses Thursday night football. So Justin Herbert's another one of those quarterbacks that likes to go to his tight end. That's usually one of his reads he makes when he's kind of in a jam. Having Gerald Everett last year, he always kind of tended through his way out of situations with his tight end. And then Evan Ingram, he's out for the year. Everyone's kind of shutting down or injuries or plaguing, and everyone's kind of just wrapping it up and getting their bags packed for Cancun a little bit early. I know Max Crosby did. Get best of luck with your surgery. I hope it went well and speedy recovery though. So we'll look forward to seeing you next year with Shador Sanders. And then for kickers, I'll pass it back to you, but usual suspects.
I will go to the short list with the kickers just because there's a lot of outdoor games with weather concerns.
Yeah.
So if I'm someone like that this week, I think the strongest play for a kicker outside of weather concerns is the Bull McManus from Green Bay. They're playing the Saints and in a dome. So I feel like those two check the box.
Makes sense, yeah.
Super strong waiver play off the week. Jason Sanders is over there in Miami. They got the 49ers. There could be points over there. Same game, Jake Moody playing in Miami, so there's not weather concerns. And then Matt Gay versus the Titans. I think there could be point potential, depending on what kind of Anthony Richardson you get. If he's able to move the ball, Tennessee's definitely not the stronger defense. I don't know if L'Jarius Sneed's still playing over there, but
yeah.
Hopefully if he's able to move the ball, that could lead to points for Gay. They're indoors, so definitely could be a good claim there for you guys or anybody that needs a kicker for the week.
Yeah, no, for sure. DSTs, I know, a lot of people, you might have had a DST that you just picked up for 1 week, and now you got to kind of figure out in stream play. That's been your stream play all year. So definitely want to check out Atlanta. They are facing
Giants.
They got the Giants, so that's definitely one I actually just picked that up in the side league for my matchup against Quaid in the semifinal. So shout out to Quaid too. I would like to say I have the best track record in this league, having won it twice. So, I feel good trying to get that third one. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that league. But Atlanta Falcons, they're facing the Giants, obviously with a rough quarterback situation. They're kind of ready to wrap the year up. They're also going for Shador Sanders. Hopefully they find a way to win and they can get Cam Ward so they can put us in the first position. But it's another defense to watch. Obviously, that offense can't really get going. They have a pretty stout defense when they want to be. A lot of defenses we were talking about before the season being really good didn't turn out as well. Obviously, Kirk Cousins didn't pan out to be what they thought in his first season. Jameis is benched. DTR will be playing, so definitely fire up Cincinnati Bengals. Just to have enough consistent play to prove otherwise from DTR. As far as the Colts go, they are hosting the Titans. Levis is benched. Like I was just saying, everyone's kind of just shutting everything down. So expect Mason Rudolph to be in there down in Indy. So I'll fire up Indy's defense. Although not the best in the league, very talented defense, very scrappy defense. Rams have the Jets. So definitely look to grab them. You never know which version of the Jets you're going to get. They were very good last week, so it might be a down week. If they can string them both 2 weeks together, then they proved me wrong. But
Me
until
too.
then, until then, we'll see. Um, I think it's also a good play, even though we mentioned Indy. It's also a good play to mention um, Tennessee's defense. You never know what happens with Anthony Richardson. You never know which version you get of him. He can also make very much mistakes, considering this is basically his rookie year still, inevitably. And then the Buccaneers, finally, they have Cooper Rush and the Cowboys, who tend to look pretty decent. But I mean, the Buccaneers are playing well on the road to going to LA. So I think coming back towards the East will be playing on Sunday night too. They are going to be the premier game, so that'll be dope. So yeah, look forward to seeing those defenses. I think those are the key pieces and key ones going into week 16. So if you're still looking, if you still need pieces and players, make sure you guys stay tapped into the waivers. Make sure you may check somebody that's sleeping that might have forgot about their kicker. You never know what might happen in your league, so make sure you stay focused. It's not time to start slacking and lacking. You don't want to get bounced in the playoffs and be that close to some money, or however your league works. So before we get into the rankings, um, we just want to announce a giveaway and how it's going to work. I know we've been teasing it for a while, so just want to make sure that everybody understands what's going to happen, right? So to break it down, I'll give a little bit of the general thing, and Jared will can go into the gifts for each one. So yeah, let's get into it. So we are currently at 34 subscribers. So again, we appreciate every single one of you guys subscribing. Everybody that's not subscribed, that is watching, take some time, hit that subscribe button for us. So we're going to do 3 different tiers of gifts and giveaways for our subscribers. So what is the 50th subscriber going to get, Jared?
50th subscriber. I'm thinking a hat of your choice, team hat. It doesn't have to strictly be football. I think that's an appropriate giveaway for our 50th subscriber. Get a hat of your choice.
Yes, sir.
75th subscriber. I'm thinking a t-shirt jersey. So like, t-shirt jersey, your favorite player, team, whatever you want to do. But for that 100th and every 100th, I'm thinking, well, we're not going to say every, but for the most part, milestone numbers, I'm thinking about just like an NFL jersey, your player of choice, you know what I'm saying? Represent, like show some love. It could be from your fantasy football team. A lot of people got championships weekends coming up. So I know if I do end up winning, Mike Evans, a couple other players, like Joe Burrow, like I would definitely get a jersey just to remember, like, yo, this is somebody who's, held it down. Definitely probably one of my favorite players. So just trying to get some more, some more engagement with the channel, but definitely trying to show some love for all those who showing love to us. So definitely want to give back to y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that holiday season, and make sure give back and be a blessing to others that have been a blessing to us. So we appreciate y'all support. So we're gonna clip that up. Make sure y'all see it on our socials. We're gonna repost it. So if you guys aren't subscribing, you get another chance to subscribe and follow for these contests. So we'll make sure to keep up with that and keep y'all posted. So how are we looking on time? You doing okay?
Q.
We good on time? Cool. All right, bet. So we'll run through the rankings real quick. Again, we'll do a little bit of a shorter version just because we know there's only 4 teams left. So if you're still looking, obviously for gambling purposes, you might want to fire up some of these people. But we will kick it off into that. So you started the waivers, right? So I'll start with the quarterbacks.
Go for it.
So we got Josh Allen. Obviously, we were just talking about him. MVP front runner. I think Lamar had a 5 touchdown day, and his odds only moved to minus 900. So he is very much in front of the MVP race. So obviously, if you got Josh Allen and you're thinking about him or another matchup, fire up Josh Allen. Usual suspects at the top: Hurts, Burrow, Love, Kyler, Darnold, Baker, Goff. One I would say to look out for would be if you're in a bind, if you're in a pinch and you don't know, I would say look out for I'll say Jared Goff. just because they're going on the road at Chicago doesn't mean it's just a guaranteed dub because the Bears are scrappy. They do have a really good defense. I wouldn't just jump to having to play Goff. I know CP is in that situation with Jared Goff and Kyler Murray. Um, I wouldn't jump right to Jared Goff, so that's one of those elite quarterbacks that I would just look out for when you're doing your matchup picking. Look out for Lamar. Look out for Jaden Daniels. Just tough matchups. Commanders have the Eagles. Tough division game, as well as the Ravens having to go and face the Steelers. So just two quarterbacks also to look out for. Don't run to those matchups. Obviously, if you're in a must start them. They have the most upside, but just be careful, be cautious. If you have another viable option, I will look towards that. Pass it to you for the running backs.
Running backs, let's get it. Definitely, like you said earlier, there's my top 5 this week. I'm thinking Saquon, Bijan, Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs without Monty. I have a strong feeling he'll get worked out.
Yep.
And then Kyron, they play the Jets, and it's weaker over there. Connor, I like a lot. But the running back kind of gives me pause for concern this week. The Chiefs, without Mahomes, I'm thinking Mahomes doesn't play. Definitely don't like the running backs for the Chiefs. Kenneth Walker, I'm not sure even if he plays, I'd play him versus Minnesota. Not feeling Najee versus the Ravens. I think that'd be another slow week for him. And then Brian Robinson. Tough Eagles run defense. So I know he has a backfield to himself. He usually gets it done in strong, tougher matchups, but that's one I'd keep an eye on. Maybe if you have an easier matchup, consider getting away from him. And I wouldn't play Chargers or Denver backfield. So, Dan, how you liking the receivers?
I like a lot of receivers. I mean, I feel like they were deeper than the running backs were this year. I know, like when we were all drafting, we all felt pretty comfortable with sacrificing certain picks because there were so many wide receivers. I mean, I'm looking at your list, and Jordan Addison's in like the lower echelon, and he's been having a fantastic year. Guys like Romeo Dobbs as well. But your usual suspects, obviously, you want to go for Chase. You got Puka at number 2, which is what I like that pick this week. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, BTJ, Nico, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown. And then those other, wide receivers of yesteryear that we all still got some juice left. The Cortland Suttons, the Mike Evans, Jerry Jeudy, and those guys are all still producing at a very high level. One wide receiver that I would say to look out for personally is who do I like? I think the Colts should hold steady at home against the Titans. So give me Pittman. Why not? I don't know which version of A-Rich you're gonna get, but I think that if you do get that, I mean, at this point of the year, they don't really have much to play for. So I think they still have an opportunity to still show some people they can play ball. Obviously they're trying to get to a 500 record, so. Yeah, I mean, why not at this point? He didn't practice Wednesday, so maybe not Pittman. As I look at his injury report, so maybe scratch what I said and see if he plays first. So scratch what I said. I'll move on to Oh my gosh, I've done it again.
It's all good.
Sorry. Having a little trouble with difficulties. Anyway, moving on to other wide receivers that might be good plays. Despite JSN, I think it was a good play down over in Seattle. They have a Vikings matchup. Obviously, coming out of the game last week, and the Vikings are rolling. I think they should look to kind of bounce back. Geno Smith is injured, right? He's not going to be playing?
Nah, he's actually had a full practice.
Oh, he had a full practice? Yeah. So I think if he's good and going, I think JSN's a good spot. Watch out for London and Mooney. I was going to go for those guys, but being at the Falcons have the Giants, you just never know.
I feel like with Penix.
Yeah, Michael Penix is playing. You don't know which version of that, how that's going to go. His first NFL start. Shout out to him. But obviously, you just don't know how that's going to go. Terry McLaurin, another one who has Slay and Quinyon to deal with all day. while being at home, but it's still going to be a tough matchup for him. Um, Lab McConkey, the Chargers are facing the
Broncos.
Broncos. Yep. So with that matchup being tomorrow, Thursday nights are always weird, so that's another one I would just watch out for. So
I don't know if is Pat Surtain, is he playing? I think he was. They were like saying he had like a knee sprain or something. So I don't know, or like a knee bruise or bone contusion, something. At least that's the last thing I saw on it. But that's the reason why I feel like that'd be a hard matchup or tough ass for him.
yeah, he has no injury
Oh,
designations
no,
right
he's
now,
good.
so I don't see anything right now.
Oh, okay, it's even worse than for McConkey.
He didn't practice Monday, but yeah, nothing say for
Oh,
Tuesday or
good.
today. So looks like he's doing all right so far. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, some of those middle of the packs, just be wary. Like I said, the JSNs, they're good plays. Like I think they're gonna have good games, but just be careful if you got number ones. I'll say go with your number ones, but watch out for some of those Thursday, like that Thursday night game. First starting quarterbacks starting from other players getting shut down. So watch out for those wide receivers because they might be playing with some inconsistent guys. Which could be the same thing for our tight end. So I'll pass it that back to you.
I'm sure you've heard and seen enough Brock Bowers to know he's tight end one for me. Definitely week to week. I feel like he has the most upside. So I'm going to stick with the usual Bowers, Kittle, McBride for me. Jonnu Smith is someone I won't move out of the top five until I see otherwise. But this week I had a few others that I liked. Laporta, Andrews, Otten. There wasn't too many that I didn't like, but again, there are a few. Kelsey without Mahomes, so self-explanatory. Kyle Pitts, rookie quarterback, making his first start. The matchup's great, but we don't know what the target share is going to look like for Mooney or London, let alone Pitts, who hasn't been producing with Kirk Cousins. And Joku with DTR starting. Again, new quarterback, don't know the chemistry, familiarity, or the target distribution. Not feeling Dalton Kincaid either. Bills are playing the Patriots. I feel like that's going to be a ground game. Could have heavy snow in that game. Just don't think the passing is going to be needed as well. So he'd be a player I'd love to get away from. Just not enough signs of life there.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it's just if you're at this point, you gotta start one of those guys. It's tough, but you guys should be. If you're at this point and you're in the final four, in the semifinals, hopefully you had a stronger tight end getting you there. Um, so for kickers, um, there's five that you can probably trust a little bit more being indoors. You got McManus, you got Lutz, you got Gay, Moody, and Sanders. All people, a couple of those were on the waivers. So.
Dicker, I didn't realize he's an indoor too. I apologize.
Oh yeah, and Cameron Dicker. Yep, he'll be indoors as well. So watch out for those. So as far as some weather goes, Vikings in Seattle, there's an 84% chance of rain, 17-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 10 to 18-mile-an-hour wind gusts in the tri-state area for the Commanders and the Jets game. Possible snow up in New England with 14 to 31-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's insane. Bengals Brown 12 to 37 miles an hour. Lions Bears 9 to 12. Steelers Ravens 14. Saints Packers 24% frozen rain with 7 to 14 mile an hour wind gusts in the frozen tundra. So it is going to be pretty tough rain conditions. So if you got those indoor kickers, I would definitely go for them first. Obviously Boswell is always a good play, being the leading scorer. Aubrey, Fairbairn, Reichard, Bates, all part of high-powered offenses. So make sure you stream those guys and look their way. Despite the rain, they might have a lot of chances because of the rain. So hopefully they catch those dead pockets in the wind and are able to produce. They probably have been practicing all week with wind tunnels and things like that. So we'll see how they fare once it's time to rock and roll. And that could be just as much of an effect for the DSTs. So I will pass it back to you for those.
DSTs I'm liking this week. Definitely the strongest for me this week. I like Green Bay a lot. Minnesota I liked a little bit more, but Geno's looks like he's going to stay in there to play. Buffalo's another strong play versus Drake May. Definitely, like we talked about with the waivers, though, there's going to be a few defenses that we might not have ever played this season,
Yeah.
but they might get fired up in a really important spot. Like you said, Atlanta, Cincy, Indy, these plays might be stronger. The Rams, I'm even thinking, depending on, I know the Lions are banged up. They have the Bears who seemingly can't score during the first half of games, let alone the first quarter. So there's like certain matchups I feel like you have to take advantage of. There's a lot of high-powered defenses like the Steelers. They're playing the Ravens, or Philly versus Redskins that we might have to get away from. They don't have the upside. Yep, definitely the Eagles. Seattle's been playing well of late. Chargers been playing well of late, but you might have to get away from them because they're playing quality offense teams. So it's harder, but I definitely wouldn't play Philly. Get away from Pittsburgh. Chargers, another strong one. San Fran might have helped a lot of people early in the season. Seattle might have helped a lot of people later in the season. Chicago. Just some of these defenses, you just don't know what you're going to get. So if you can live dangerously, if that might be your worst play of the week, so be it. But those are some defenses tough to ask for some production out of them this week.
No, for sure, for sure. We want to make sure we do that for you guys, just in case you're in a bind and you still need to make some moves and make some motion happen. Want to make sure that you guys have some options. So hopefully you're at your best, full strength, no injuries, and you're looking at a 115, 120 projected point week, and you can match that and go into the final. We wish y'all the best of luck though, and yeah. So before we get into the best segment of the part of the show, GTP guest the player. We also want to make sure we preview another thing that we'll make sure we'll post on our socials and clip up for you guys. The keyword. So we're gonna start doing keywords in random episodes. You never know what's gonna come out of it. Might be a miscellaneous prize. Might be you never know what you might get. We might give you $5 to bet on FanDuel. We might send you your favorite team's keychain, or we might send you like a magnet or a sticker or anything, or maybe whatever the case may be. We're gonna start doing keywords in our episodes, so look forward to that. Unless Jared, you got a keyword for the first one, we're gonna start it next week.
We're going to start it next week. Start it next week.
So next week, episode 12, make sure y'all look for a keyword for our next episode. And pay attention to your DMs, and we'll make sure to reach out and do that for you guys. So, with that being said, let me put my thinking cap on, and we can play Guess the Player.
Let's get to it.
All right, let's go.
Week 16, we're going to start off strong. Which position? We got a couple running backs, couple receivers. We actually got 3 receivers, a tight end, and a defense. So I'll let you start the position. Pause.
Receiver.
All right, we'll start it early. We're going to jump off with, this is our 2024 wide receiver 51 on the year. He only has a total of 96.80 points on the year. He's looking at an average of 7.45 points per game. On the year, he's collected 88 targets for 52 catches. He has 608 yards to go with 2 receiving touchdowns. He has 7 red zone targets. Versus last year, he was our wide receiver number 15. He scored a whopping 195.70 points on the year. He was averaging 12.23 points per game. He was 8th in the NFL in targets with 156 last year. He was 4th in receptions with 109. And he had 1,152 receiving yards for 4 touchdowns across 19 red zone targets.
Tyler Lockett.
Let me think how I could steer you in this guy's direction this year. We definitely touched about him this year, or not too long ago.
Wide receiver 15 from 51.
Yeah, he's inverted his numbers from last year, partly because of quarterback play, but partly he's just like, he's like an every other season player. He's like, he'll be good one season, next season won't do anything. Next season he'll be decent, next season won't do anything. But
Amari Cooper?
No, he's on that mold though. He's a little younger. He's definitely a little younger than Amari Cooper, but let me think.
He's 4th in receptions?
He was 4th in receptions last year though.
That's what's throwing me off.
Yeah, last year. No, hold on. Let me just double check that. Yeah, he was 4th in receptions and he was 8th in targets last year. He had
You say he's
150.
in the Cooper mold, a little younger.
Yeah.
AFC or NFC?
He's in the AFC. The only hit I can give you is like Jump Man. But it's not like, it's kind of like a play on Jump Man.
Lost me with that one.
I know, I feel like I'm throwing you off with that. Let me think I can get a better one.
Is he a Jordan athlete?
He's not a Jordan athlete.
Okay.
That's a good kind of train of thought there. I'm trying to make a play on his last name.
Jump Man. He's a jump man.
He might have went to your favorite college, I think, if I remember that correctly. I'm not a big college football guy, but I think he might have went to USC as a receiver. I could be off, though.
Raw went to USC. Juju, Drake London.
It's neither of those. But he's definitely amongst that light-skinned community.
You said AFC?
AFC. When he said St. Brown and them, I was like, yeah, he kind of looks like St. Brown a little bit, but like a little taller.
Christian Kirk?
Good guess, very good guess. But he's definitely in that community. That community, he's in that community.
Goodness me. All right, one more guess, and then I'm going to have to throw in a
Okay.
towel on this one. East, South.
I'll give you that. He's in the South.
It's in the South. No, not him. Michael Pittman?
Yeah.
Pittman.
There you go.
Michael Pittman.
That was a good.
Oh, he did go to SC.
Did he go? Yeah, I thought he went to SC. Yeah, I thought he did.
Yes, Michael Pittman for sure went to SC. Good call on that.
Yeah,
He is a jump ball guy. Yeah.
That's what I was going, like jump man, pit
Yeah.
man, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that was like too off.
Nah, good call, good call.
Do you want to jump around positions or do you want to stick on receiver?
Go on the ground.
Go on the ground. I like it. We're gonna do our RB20 for 2024. He has a total accumulated is 162.7 points. He's attempt 135 carries for 573 rushing yards and three TDs. He has an average of 4.2 yards per carry. He's got 48 targets for 43 catches, and he's sixth in receptions at the running back position. 339 receiving yards, so he's 10th at the running back position in receiving yards. He has 6 receiving TDs, so he's tied at first for the position. And he has 16 red zone touches this year. Last year, he finished as RB7. He scored a whopping 235.90 points on the year. He was averaging 13.87 points per game. He had 272 rushing attempts for 990 rushing yards, which was 14th in the league last year. 6 touchdowns on the ground, 3.6 yards per carry. He had 70 targets, 64 catches last year for 549 yards and 3 touchdowns for 45 red zone touches, or cross 45 red zone touches. So he was definitely getting busy last year, but found a way to kind of remain very productive this year.
Bijan. Achan.
But he's in that young mode though. I don't want to give him away, but you might have had this player on your team.
Rashad White.
Yeah, Rashard White. It is. My next guess was gonna be Blanco, but I was like, that's too close. You gonna
Nah,
get
yeah,
that.
that. Damn, his receiving stats for a running back are impressive.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the better
He
ones.
has
in
6
the league.
touchdowns. That's a good point because every time, if you check Bucks games, you'll be like, all right, Baker threw one. It's like, all right, Mike, McMillan, Otten. Nope, Rashad.
Rashard White.
6 of them bitches. Okay.
He's smooth though. What do you want to do? You want running back or you want a receiver?
Keep it on the ground.
Keep it on the ground. All right. We got our RB8 on the year for 2024. He's averaging a clean 15 points per game. He has another clean total of 210 points on the year across 65 rushing attempts, 641 rushing yards. He has 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 3.9 yards per carry. Now this guy's has 78 targets, 70 receptions, so he's first in the position with receptions. He has 509 receiving yards, so it's second at the position, and he's also tied for first with 6 TDs at the position with receiving TDs.
Mm-hmm.
He has, on this year, 33 red zone touches. This player last year finished RB24. He scored a total of 177.20 points. He had 103 rushing attempts, 800 rushing yards, and 8 TDs. He was actually averaging 7.8 yards per carry last year. 37 targets, 27 catches for 197 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns for 24 red zone touches. I didn't get his average for last year. Hold on, I can do that while you're thinking.
I was going to guess somebody I already guessed, but
Go for it.
The receiving yards didn't match up. He did way more than that. He's running back 7 this year, you said?
Right now he's running back 8.
Running back 8 this year. James Conner.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Can you say this year's stats for me one more time, please?
Yes, I can. Okay, so this year he's averaging a clean, so 15 points flat, points per game. He has a total of 210 points flat on the season, 165 rushing attempts, 641 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 3.9 yards per carry. He has 78 targets for 70 receptions, first in the position with receptions. He's second in yards with 509 receiving yards, and he's also tied for first with 6 receiving TDs. He has 33 red zone touches this year.
Rico Dowdle.
Mm-mm. Damn. I think you were on it ahead. You said I want to guess this player.
H-Chan.
It is H-Chan.
Okay,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like you went past it.
I said that from the start. I was like, it sounded like somebody I already guessed. It was H-Chan. All right, I'm 3 for 3, but this is taking a little while this week.
He was averaging 16.10 points per game last year. So yeah,
that would have made me for sure guess H-Chan.
My fault. I didn't add
No. You're good.
He was missing.
I should have
6
just
games last year, and he still was putting up. He was fish grease.
I ignored my gut on that one because I was like, I'm gonna guess somebody I already guessed.
That's when I knew. I was like, oh
I
yeah,
should
he
have
knew.
just guessed H-Chan.
Nah, you were right on fire with that.
Right. 3 left, right?
4.
4. Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna stick to receiver.
Go receiver.
I got our wide receiver 9 for 2024. He's averaging 12.27 points per game. He has a total of 171.80 points on the year. He has 134 targets, so he's 4th at the position. He has 84 receptions, so he's tied for 7th. 933 receiving yards, he's 12th in the league. 6 TDs, and he has 14 red zone targets. Only 1 rushing attempt for 5 yards this year, so 5 yards per carry. Last year, this player finished wide receiver 31. He scored he scored a total of 165.70 points. His average was 9.74 points per game. He finished last year with 168 targets, so he's 4th in the league. He had 95 catches, so he's tied for 12th in the league. Only 1,042 receiving yards, only 3 touchdowns last year. He had 16 red zone targets, 4 rushing attempts for no yards, and he finished 0-1 in passing last year.
0-1 in passing.
Very randomly.
Very randomly.
But the passing, don't get caught up in that. That was I didn't even know he had an attempt. I only remember the game he had.
And he's the 9th wide receiver currently.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith.
Mm-mm. He's of that mold, so he's definitely in that younger class of receivers. Same body style and everything, but a little bit more, a little better, a little bit more fluid.
A little better, a little bit more fluid than Devontae Smith. This guy's pretty good. Wide receiver 9. In the AFC?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, I like that. I had to show my boy some love.
G5.
G5, you know we fly high. It's my guy, man. All right, and our last receiver on the week, we got our 2024 wide receiver 14. He's averaging 14.08 points per game. He has a total of 154.90 points on the year, 79 targets, only 52 catches, 749 receiving yards, but he got 9 touchdowns, so he's 4th in the league in touchdowns.
Is it tight end?
No, this is a receiver.
Okay.
You want me to start over?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. We got 9 red zone targets on the year. Last year, this player finished as wide receiver 5. He scored 243 points last year clean. He averaged 14.29 points per game. He finished with 136 targets, so it was 14th in the league. 79 catches, 1,255 yards, so he was 9th last year in the yardage. And he was tied for first with 13 touchdowns, with 14 red zone targets.
Damn. Scoring every time.
Mm-hmm. He's a bucket, all right. And it's fun fact, he was like wide receiver 34, 36, or 32. I can't remember, but it was like an even number in the 30s before this week. Or before last week.
Metcalf.
Metcalf's been, he's falling off. He ain't been doing nothing.
13 touchdowns?
13. There was 2 players tied for 13.
Can you name the other one?
Tyreek.
That actually helped. Okay. Wide receiver what this year?
He's wide receiver 14 this year. He was wide receiver 5 last year. He's been on the heater, too. This year, he's missed like 4 games, I think.
Hold on. Okay. All right. It is wide receiver 5.
That was last year. This year, he's
Yeah,
wide receiver 14.
No, I know. I'm trying to. It's the 13 touchdowns in that. That's what I'm trying to use. I'm getting the Zen mode. AFC or NFC?
NFC.
Okay, that's where the Zen was going. Mike Evans.
It sure is. I was like, I'm staring at Quinn. I'm like, I know Quinn knows.
I had to go Zen mode.
Zen mode it is. I like that.
I had to go Zen mode.
All right.
Can't guard Mike.
Can't guard Mike. One of my favorite players, definitely last week. Man,
Wait, did I have him last year when he was doing that? I did.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
thought
He
you
was
had
my
him.
guy last year.
Mm-hmm. But he had 13 touchdowns.
He
I was
was.
like, oh yeah, he's gonna get that.
He was sturdy.
Bro, I'll be real.
I got asked for him like every other week.
I'll be real. Last year, I remember it was you took Trevor. I took Trevor Lawrence. You took Mike Evans for the fourth round.
Yeah. Fourth
And
round.
all year, I just never was happy with Trevor Lawrence. I told myself I will never pass on Mike Evans again this
That
year.
surely did happen.
Quinn was behind me in the draft this year. I told Evan, I said, yo, if Quinn thinks he's getting Mike Evans this year, good luck. Yo, good luck. He's not making it past me. And that's funny. It had a playing like that. So shout out Mike Evans one time. Hopefully gets his that 1K this year too.
Yeah, facts.
All right, we're going to jump in. This is a deep cut, I'm telling you, for tight ends. I'm looking at tight end for 2024. He's tight end 22, averaging 6.54 points per game. He has a total of 79.90 points on the year, 66 targets for only 38 catches, 409 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 6 red zone targets. This player last year finished tight end 12. He scored 113.9 points on the year. He was averaging 7.11 points per game. He had 91 targets for 73 catches, 673 yards receiving, only 2 touchdowns, and 9 red zone targets.
His position this year, please.
Yeah, this year he's tight end 22.
From what
Last
year?
year he was tight end 12.
Right. Middle of the pack, paddle of the Mick. Middle of the pack. Paddle of the
He
neck.
definitely had a lot of upside. Last year, he was kind of like, let me think. He was a highly, like even both, I'd say back-to-back year, he was highly touted as like a breakout player. Last year, he definitely came through some weeks
Dalton
this year.
Schultz.
But close.
Cole says in Kincaid.
Yeah, it's very close. I was like, oh, when he heard Dalton, I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
That was a great pull, Dan.
There we go.
And our final player or player of the week is going to be a defense. So this is our 2024 DST 30 on the year. They're averaging 3.79 points per game. They have a total of 53 points on the season. They're allowing 329.5 yards per game. So that's around 12th in NFL. They're averaging 25.43 points in the NFL, so it's bottom. They're 27th, so they're one of the worst ranked teams scoring, allowing points. They only have one defensive touchdown in the year. They have 32 sacks, so they're like tied for 25th in the NFL. 8 interceptions on the year, so tied for 26th. They have 2 fumbles forced, 1 recovered. Last year, the same defense, they were actually, let me see. 2023 DST. Ooh. I might have to look that up, but I think they were DST 7 actually. Yeah, the DST 7. They scored 144 points. They averaged 8.47 points per game, 330.8 yards allowed. So they were 14th last year. So they're kind of middle of the pack both years. Last year though, they definitely had a dip in points allowed. They were only allowing 19.12 points allowed, so which was good for 7th. They had 5 defensive touchdowns. They were tied for 9th in the NFL with 46 sacks. They had a safety. They had 13 picks, so they're tied for 7th. And they had 14 fumbles forced with 9 recovered and a blocked field goal.
And the worst defense in the league this year.
One of them, definitely.
And they finished top 7.
Last year. They had a couple monster games to end the season.
San Fran.
That same part of the country, though.
L.A. No, they're not that bad. I'll take that back. That was bad. The Chargers.
Chargers are smooth this year. I think they were bad last year, so flip it.
Oh, you're right. Stinky Broncos? The Raiders?
The Raiders.
Bro,
Raiders.
listen. When you were on everything I love, when you were saying the description, I was going to take my headphones off and turn my hat around because I was like, it's going to be these assholes, isn't it? I swear I was going to do. I'm not
going to hold you. I had to look. I was like, yeah, he's wearing a Vegas hat right now.
Bro, I promise you, I knew it was them because I remember, bro. Sick.
I be trying to sneak it under your nose, Paul, a couple times. That's what I was like, let me see if he knows.
I knew it was the Raiders, too. I knew it was the Raiders, bro.
You was on it.
But listen, man, we appreciate y'all tapped in for, again, another good GTP. Appreciate Jared always setting that up. Episode 12 in the books with y'all. Week 16, we are here. If you're in your semifinals, good luck. I got 2 out of my 5 leagues, so I made 40%. Both buys, so this is my first games of this year's postseason. One team I got Lamar, Gibbs, Jettas, Achan, and Brock Bowers.
Okay.
Like, I'm not losing.
Okay. I'd be beat up.
Not losing. And then in the side league, I got Quaid. He knocked me out from a back-to-back, so I'm definitely trying to get that revenge. And yeah, Jared, any shout-outs you got?
I got a couple shout outs. Of course, I'd like to shout out my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, still and every day. Shout out to my boy Noah. Damn, it just hung up.
Nah, it was just hot. It was hot. So it probably needs to cool down. Go ahead. Continue.
To Noah. Shout out to Tierra. Shout out my grandma. She be actually really watching this. She was really like, she texted me or called me. She's like, tell Danny I said thanks for my birthday. Like, she really be watching. She be calling my cousins and getting them to watch, and random people she be telling at church and all that. So, grandma, I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you. I appreciate Quinn, Dan, CP for rocking with us, getting this off the ground, getting this out the group chat, getting this idea rolling. Shout out to all my league mates. We getting right. Shout out to everybody that made the playoffs because it's always fun. But yeah, we got a few matches to win, so let's get to it. Scoop, you know what time it is. Quinn, we play in the side league. It's up.
I hope y'all tie. Everybody ties, and then y'all have to do something stupid to figure it out.
Tiebreaker. Do a Chris tiebreaker.
I hope 2 games tie, and then it's just cooked for the rest of the year. Love y'all. Y'all be safe. Holiday travels. Y'all be sick, careful. Enjoy your loved ones. Make sure y'all pray. Make sure y'all drink y'all water. Make sure y'all in the gym. I know I need to get back in there. Also, sorry too. I feel like I had a couple of slip ups this episode. My cord coming out, so excuse me. We all human. But yeah, we're rocking with y'all. We'll see y'all next week. And live from the 856 again. This is channel 856 again. Y'all be safe out there. Love.
Signing out. Merry Christmas. Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Love.
Deuces.